So we have set our camera right, we have choose our GPU to help us to do the rendering, and then let's just actually do the actual rendering. Okay, so you can just click the output properties, which is pretty easy and self-explanatory. If you adjust the camera that you're using, you just click the camera, and this will adjust the render engine, which is you can treat it as a different camera that you can use. And of course, if you want to print out your photo, you can choose this. I think it's a little bit like a printer here, and you can choose the format. So the resolution here is I think most of the time it's just defaults your just similar to your screen's default resolution, and my screen resolution is 1920 by 1080, and you can adjust that. Okay, so you want to get a 4K, you can just click a drag and drop and get a more wider view. And if you don't want to change it, if you don't want to change any of it, so I think 20. If you don't want to change any of it, you can just change the percentage, and the percentage is kind of its resolution, and you can scale it. So even though you for now it's 1920 and 1080, it's not 4K, but you can adjust the resolution even though the size is the same, but you can increase the resolution. So it can if you got an iPhone or any phone in that matter, the screen size, the actual size, the centimeters, the size does not change, but the resolution, the per square centimeters lighting pulp increases, and will also increase the resolution as well. So you don't need to change the resolution here, because what you can do, just change the percentage, and that is the better intuitive way, because 100 and 200, okay, so you increase that. Okay, this is better, and of course you can just use default 100. Okay, and after you have set everything right, you can start the rendering. So I'm going to use the 100 first and then 200. You can compare. Okay, so remember the engine we're using is the cycle here, and it's 100. Okay, and if you want to render, just click render, and you can render the image. For now we don't have animation, but we will come to that later on. So we can just render, or just press F12, because you know the Blender is highly shortcut focused. So yeah, you can use shortcut. You can just click it, and here is your render results. Okay, so remember this is slot 1, and you can just change that to slot 2. And yeah, the rendering result do not have any lights, so yeah, we have turned off the light in the render. So yeah, we disable it, so we need to turn it on. And yeah, if you render again, you can get, I think, render image. Yeah, we got this render image. Okay, slot 1 is the disable the rendering, and slot 2 is what's rendered if we yeah, just turn the rendering on. And we can go to slot 3, and we can close it, and we can change the percentage to 200, and let's try that. Okay, so render image, slot 3, and as you guys can see, yeah, it's pretty big, but yeah, it's still do the sampling, so it is slowly render that. So maybe we need, because the time it's like they are processing tiny bits at the time, so yeah, we need to wait a little bit for it to fully render. So yeah, remaining, I think we got, yeah, just a few seconds remaining. And but even though it's a simple project such as monkey here spend a lot of time. So if you are working with some huge projects, some design of a certain landscape with a lot of grass and trees, and you can even spend days, or you need to use the remote computer to render it. So you need to maybe make a cup of coffee in order for you to see the final result. And do check you got everything correct, because the rendering is a huge time-consuming process, and if you got something wrong, especially if you got animation wrong, and you got a lot of time to redo that. Okay, so I think this is final result. And you can compare this with the previous one, because this is 200 and previous one is 100, so it's just bigger. Okay, it's just bigger, and got a lot of fine-tuning things. Okay, so even though we got the same size, you can clearly see the difference. Okay, so the same size, you can see this having more pixel as slot 3. Okay, definitely got more pixel. And of course the slot 1 just to turn off the light. And of course you can compare that with different engines, so cycle, so Eevee, and this render will be pretty quick, even though you got 200. Okay, so render image, so pretty quick. And slot 1, slot 2, and slot 3. Okay, so if you still have slot 1, just replace the original slot 1 and slot 2. Slot 3 is different engine. Slot 1 is the engine that I just used. So that's how to adjust the output and how to do the actual rendering. And you can compare, and you know that it's time consuming, so do check. The quick way to check it is to choose a certain render engine and just press 0 to quickly look at it. So if everything is good, and do check whether you disable it or enable it. So disable the thing that you don't want to render, and enable thing, or turn on the thing that you want to render, and check that. If everything is okay, then you got rendering. And grab some snack, or get a cup of tea. Okay.